Yo, what's the deal, fam? It's your man, Ease. Yo, man, some of these podcasters just be going to the podcast studio, sitting down and just saying anything, fam. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and I'm not one of them people that gets in an uproar about people's opinion. But let's be honest and see if there's any bias within the statements that are made. What am I talking about? Rory from Rory Mal stated that the Nas feature on the Clipse album, that God sought him out, seems forced. And he stated something else as well, but I'll speak about that in a moment.
My one critique, since you're saying your critique, I feel like the Nas verse felt a little forced.
I was going to say the Nas verse.
And who the fuck am I to say that? If Nas wants to be on your album, let's force it.
Let's do it.
But that's literally my only, of course I would like a Stowe verse, but I love this hook, so it is what it is. That was the only time, track 12, where I was like, okay.
Yeah, I didn't.
Because I was really anticipating Nas with the Clipse.
Clipse, yeah.
And
you see that, you like, okay.
It was just like.
But see, it was the same thing for me.
Bad.
No, it's not bad. It's a Nas verse.
How does it seem forced throughout the entire first half of the song? Clipse are talking, Clipse talk, getting money, doing what they do. Then the beat switches, which is the Chandelier's portion, right? And Nas begins to rhyme. We all know what a chandelier is, right? Decorative, walk in the room, it's a light fixture, no minimum amount of light bulbs. It's a chandelier, right? What did Nas speak about? Being above what was expected of him, right? It's sort of like a metaphor. What I brought to the game, 50 plus years old, still being Grammy nominated, expectations are a little bit different. Rewriting what a hip hop artist who's half a century years old should look like, should do, and what their aspirations should ultimately be. So I'm not understanding how it sounds forced, because it fits the song perfectly. Now, I will give you this. When I listen to the joint, it feels as though you can tell it was recorded in two different locations, because Nas' vocal sounds a bit compressed in comparison to the other features that were done throughout the album. Obviously, those were melded into or emailed in, but something's a bit off with Nas' vocal as far as the sound quality goes. But as far as forcing a record, no. And this whole thing with Nas, if Nas wants to be on your album, I get it. Well, the way you're coining that phrase it sounds disingenuous, because Nas was supposed to be on It's Almost Dry, which Pusha T emphatically stated. Nas hit him up, stating that people getting on him because he didn't come through with the feature, and Pusha found a record for Nas to be on. Sounds mutual to me. But I don't understand how that's forced, though. It's a legend, an icon, and the best ever getting on the song with some of the best lyricists on the planet. That's something we should champion. It's not like Nas was rapping 32 bar verse over a Laffy Taffy beat. It's hip hop. It's sample. It was loop. That was melodic. Drum slap somewhat. And also, in the first half of the song, who's doing the ad-libs? Queen's very own, DJ Clue. It sounds like the perfect situation for me. So when these cats be saying this is forced, they don't like this, they don't like that, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I'm not gonna lose sleep over that. But I would love to just ask follow-up questions concerning it, because ultimately, he ended up saying it wasn't a bad verse. I don't know. But shout out to Nas. And Rory knows music. I don't know him personally, but like from his selection choices when he was with Joe Budden and just being connected to Little Brother or Fonte in some estimation, musically, he knows music. So that take was kind of unnecessary, because you say something forced and you say, I get it, and then you say it's not a bad verse. It's like you just needed something to say. And I'm not here to be jumping off the building for Nas in that sense. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but we are gonna be fair. The verse was fire. Let's just stop that. I know it and you know it. The verse was fire. It fit perfectly. They gave Nas his own space to rhyme. He was Esco, but the Esco of today. It was written Nas. It wasn't Do or Die feature Nas. It wasn't verbal intercourse Nas. It was none of that. It was a simple feature. And he made the best of it. That's it. And you know it's fire when people saying it was too short. Especially in my comments, they're like, yo, it felt like it was too short, even though it was a standard 16. So I don't know, man. Once again, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But sometimes I wish you can have a follow-up question to some of these podcasters, because everything don't need a comment. It's okay to say, yo, it was a good verse and move on. But the whole notion that it was forced, how was it forced? It happened organically. It was supposed to be, and it was almost dry. That didn't work out. Pusha T said Pharrell wanted 2 8s from them on a beat switch up. And he said, no, this is Nas right here. And he sent it to Nas, and Nas was calling him back and forth, letting him hear his verse over the phone like an enthusiastic artist, someone who's excited about being on it. Don't try to poise your statements in the sense that he mailed it in, or it wasn't fire, or it wasn't meant to be. It was a fire record. That's all I'm gonna say. Let me know in the comment section what y'all think about to finish up this walk. Go get your Gia.
Hey, yo, Ease.